There is not a bad song on this entire record. All 7 of the members are on the same song. It doesn't feel legal. Literally, songwriting is like ghost hunting, really, at the end of the day. This might be the best BTS song of all time. Oh, something's happening. What's going on, everybody? My name's Alex Sinclair. I make K-pop inspired music, and you are tuned in to Multi, the K-pop podcast, where we talk about everything K-pop. And today is a very special episode because BTS. That's the only reason. They came back. It's incredible. We're gonna dissect it all. We're gonna be talking about the music video, SWIM. We're gonna be talking about the full album. We're gonna be talking about the performance. I'm even gonna reveal the secret that made this album so good. It is going to be an amazing, super fun episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's get right into the music video. All right, we're diving right in to the title track of BTS's Adidang album. The song is called Swim. Oh, what a vibe! Now, this is a really interesting song, and I've heard mixed reviews about this song being the title track for the album, but I actually think that it's kind of the perfect song for it. Adidang itself is a traditional Korean folk song that is kind of all about longing, reconnecting, nostalgia, from what I can gather anyways. And every Korean knows this song. It holds a lot of cultural significance. So I think it was a big choice for BTS to take on that title and to kind of present that to the world, which is super cool because all of the members are Korean. So to be able to share that with a ton of people. ARMY is huge. And I'm definitely ARMY now, by the way, guys, if you couldn't tell already. But with that in mind as the concept almost for the full album, the title song, they could have gone with one of the first couple songs on the album, which are just like the hardest hitting things I've ever heard. I love them so much. I'm going to get to my favorite song from this album, by the way, later in this episode. But they could have gone with one of those. Instead, they decided on Swim, which is a softer feel. It's lyrical, but it also kind of describes where BTS is at right now. And I think the message of the song is really cool. Basically it has a motto, which is like, keep swimming, keep going through the ups and downs and the waves. You just got to keep moving forward. And it's a cool, powerful message that I think encapsulates the whole album really well and speaks to the fans, speaks to their journey. And speaking of journeys, the music video is amazing. It's very different too. Actually, this song and music video are both kind of unexpected. The music video doesn't have a lot of CGI. It doesn't have a lot of the members actually in it. For the most part, it's Lily Reinhardt, which is super cool. She's a fantastic actress and does an amazing job in this. But the music video opens up, we're on a ship, a sailboat. The guys are in like sailor outfits looking super cool. And it's just a refreshing, open, cinematic feel that just kind of makes you want to take like a deep breath and be like, we're back, we're home, it's feel good. It's really like a movie, and it's all about the music in this. Sometimes music videos and visuals will kind of describe what the song is intended to be, maybe the meaning behind it. But in this one, it's really the song that carries it. It's so good. Their vocals in it are incredible. The lyricism is amazing. And they really let the song shine through the music video. And the music video is just lifting up the song itself. And it's so good. And kind of the crazy thing is they were doing their military service. And by the way, guys, if you didn't know, this is my first BTS comeback. I started listening to BTS when they were all at different points in the military. They weren't together. They were doing solo stuff. So this is like really special and cool for me to experience all of this like comeback energy for the first time. But it got me thinking that while these guys were in the military, I mean, you guys have probably seen it too, but there's a behind the scenes kind of sit down in studio where they talk about the songs. And they were talking about how in the military, they have time to like just watch music videos, other artists' music videos. And I feel like you would have such a sense of FOMO, fear of missing out, from seeing all these high production music videos. Music is moving so fast, the styles and trends are changing so quickly. And even for me, I kind of relate to that because I do all of my own writing, music, recording, production, video production for the music videos. It's an insane job, but I can't put out as many songs and as many music videos as I want to because it just takes so long to even do one. So even when I'm working on a song, I'm like, oh no, but there's these new styles coming up that I gotta kind of, and sometimes I'll even modify my own songs as I'm working on them, which is actually a pretty cool thing that the song is growing and evolving as I'm working on it in real time. At the end of the day, you just gotta be true to who you are in the music, and I feel like BTS is the same. They're representing who they are right now, where their journey is at, where they're at musically, and wherever we're at, wherever ARMY's at, BTS is always gonna be there, swimming alongside us, baby. So this new era of BTS is reinventing themselves. Let's talk about Adidang, the full album. This, guys, I am not exaggerating. This album is a masterpiece. I'd mentioned before that I listened to all of these guys' solo projects individually as like my first introduction to BTS. And all of the solo stuff that they put... Actually, 1 second, guys. Boom. Okay, for those of you who are listening, I just pulled out my August D-Day album. That's Suga from BTS, his solo stuff. Super, super cool. I had to get this because it is just like so inspiring, so amazing, creative, everything. His production is unbelievable. So that's like one of the first members that I got into. And then Jimin put up RM, like J-Hope, Jungkook, literally Jin. I'm just naming all the members. V, which I did a cover video of, if you haven't seen that. My favorite one might be Jimin's Set Me Free Part 2. That is such a banger and kind of one of the first songs that I heard too from them. But I absolutely loved all of this solo stuff that they were putting out. I was like, who are these people? They are amazing. Each of their solo projects impressed me so much, and I really deep dove into those and discovered them that way. And now, come to today, reacting to Adidang, listening to Adidang, it completely blows my mind. And tell me if you guys can relate, but listening to this album, all 7 of the members are on the same song. It doesn't feel legal. Like this is the Avengers. Avengers! Assemble. RM's lyricism, Suga and J-Hope's intense rapping, and then insane vocals. It doesn't make sense how they can be this good, and when they come together, you get magic, you get Adidang, you get amazingness. And I saw too that they were basically, I guess in previous albums, you could do subunits where you'll have rappers on a certain song and then maybe vocalists, or even songs that are more centered around one single member. But this album has each member on each song. Like every member is on each song in some ways. The vocalist even did rapping, the rap line did singing, and you can really feel that it's a collective that is just unmatched. Unmatched! Kings, guys! Now let's get into the tracks, guys. The album starts with Body to Body. Incredible track, the hardest hitting intro to this album. Absolutely incredible. And inside of that, we have the actual Adidang traditional song, which is really cool that that was incorporated. And actually, this is pretty funny. Later, basically halfway through the album, there's a song called Number 29, which in my reaction, I had no clue what that meant. Wow. Number 29. Interesting. But basically, you guys let me know what it meant in the comments, and I looked it up too, and it's so cool. So basically, it's just a sound of a bell that lasts like a minute and 30-something seconds, but it's the sacred bell of Great King Songduk, made in 771. what? So this is like an actual physical humongous bell in a museum in Korea. And the bell is rarely rung because it's incredibly fragile and could break, but they rang it once last year, or for the first, I think it was the first time in like 20 years that it had been rung in 2025. And they got a recording of it to sort of immortalize it in a way. And they were able to put that sound just by itself on the album, which is really, really cool. It kind of separates the first half of the album with the second half of the album that have kind of different feels. The first part is very heavy, very hip hop, rap focused. Then we have a bit of a palate cleanser with the bell, almost like it's almost meditative with like the resonance. It's really, really, really cool. And then we kick off the second half of the album with Swim, with Merry-Go-Round, Normal, Like Animals. There is not a bad song on this entire record. It's kind of crazy. And we even get into One More Night, the song One More Night. And this was interesting because I think this was in the same behind the scenes like studio video, they were talking about, get this is pretty crazy. They were talking about this song One More Night and how they were describing a feeling of driving. It like the song felt like driving. And in my reaction to the full album, that's exactly what I said when I heard this song for the first time. It feels like driving. Check it out. This feels like driving at night. How crazy is that? BTS and I are connected. They were able to capture and convey the emotion of the song perfectly because somebody else was able to pick up on the feeling, which I think is really cool. There's also a lot of sampling in this record. It was sampled in many different ways on many different songs, but it really gives a warmth to any recording. And in the last probably 5 or 6 songs that I've put out, including my singles and my Wear the Crown album, I'm pretty sure that on all of them that there's at least one sample of some sort of sound. In my single Bullseye, I have a sample from the TV show Knight Rider. Wait, is it Knight Rider?
Might as well put on some music.
Bullseye, take a shot at me.
Yeah, which speaking of driving at night, that's basically the same kind of feeling that I was thinking about when writing that song. And it's interesting because for that song, that's kind of the feeling I was going for at the beginning and was kind of going to drive what the lyrics were going to be. But that ended up changing too throughout the course of writing and recording that song. But it started there basically from the first sample. There was a beat and a sample and that was it, and kind of built it from there. And also in my single Empire, there is a musical sample from an old Korean movie. I wanted a specific sort of texture and sound, and this was kind of exactly what I was looking for. If you guys can guess what movie that's from, listen to my song Empire, see if you can pick out the instrument and what movie that's from.
Yeah.
If anybody can guess that, I will be incredibly impressed. And if you want to know what the actual sample was, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll reveal it in the next episode. But adding a sample like that, whether it's a sample from a record like we have here in the studio that I'll actually play a physical record on, record it into the computer and work with that. Or you can get a digital sample and put it on keyboard. Like they were saying in one of their songs, they're talking about Chopped and Screwed, where you assign a different sound, a different part of the sample to each note on the keyboard, and you can play the keyboard playing the samples and rearrange the song that way, taking a sample, remixing it into a new song. Whichever method it is, it adds a lot of warmth and almost texture and feeling that is hard to get with just computer sounds. It's always good to have a real instrument, a real sample, rather than have everything digital. It just gives it that real kind of feeling. It's the feeling, guys. It's all about the feeling. Speaking of feelings, I had chills all over my body when I was watching this BTS comeback concert on Netflix. I live streamed it for you guys who haven't seen it. It's up on the Patreon now. But I mean, this was really a historic show. They start off the concert with that Emil Bell, number 29 from the record. I'm like, oh, something's happening. And you just kind of see their silhouette and the camera zooms in. RM says, Annyeong Seoul, and then we're into it, baby. Starting it off the same way as the album, we go body to body, Hooligan. And there's something, again, about seeing these guys perform together. Something I've never seen live. I think I watched their last documentary or or maybe it was just a full live concert, but not in person, just online. But this was actually them live for the first time in 3-4 years. And it blew my mind how incredible, comfortable, and amazing they were on stage. Like real veterans, real professionals. I'm sure they put in a ton of hard work. And actually, I didn't even notice until like halfway through or towards the end of the concert that RM had injured his ankle and wasn't doing a lot of the choreography. I didn't even notice because it blended in so well. Like he was still getting into it. And the overall image of the vibe they had, like their visuals were on point, their outfits, everything flowed so well, so nicely. They looked amazing. They sounded amazing. And all of this choreography was just perfect, like they had been rehearsing it for months, which I guess they did. But this is the first time performing it in front of anybody, and it's felt like they had finished up a world tour. Like that's how easy they made it seem. And I found it interesting that when listening to it live, all the songs had even more impact than just listening to them. Seeing BTS perform the songs, I was like, oh, there's another layer to it. There's that intensity and emotion that can only be conveyed sometimes through the choreography. And I even saw that J-Hope was talking about this when they were picking the songs for this album. By the way, they wrote about 120 songs before settling on the 14 songs for this album. But one of the factors that went into deciding which songs would make it onto the album, J-Hope was saying he was kind of figuring out which songs would be best for dancing, for choreography, to perform live. They have Faya, which I thought was FYA, but Faya, which is a really cool song to like hype up the crowd. So there's so many decisions that go into picking the songs for the album. I was shocked by how the song can take on a different layer just by watching it live, watching the guys actually sing it, watching the guys actually perform it. It was really, really, really cool. I definitely recommend you guys checking out the whole concert if you haven't yet, because it's amazing. Even the song Normal has, the version that I listened to from the record is a censored version, but just for that little one word that was changed when it was performed live also completely gives the song a different feel and even more emotion. It's really cool how there's just layers and layers of meaning and feeling. And I hope that we actually get even more music videos, because now from hearing the songs, seeing the songs performed, to see a music video like maybe for Body to Body, maybe Aliens, maybe Hooligan, maybe more Merry-Go-Round, maybe all the songs should have a music video, because it would be super cool to see how they interpret that in a visual way through a music video. It's just so cool. These guys are amazing. What can I say? BTS brought this part of Korean culture to the world because of their immense popularity. And it got me thinking about another project that brought Korean culture and music to the world. And we got to quickly mention this because K-pop Demon Hunters, guys, Golden specifically, just decimated all of the awards this season. Decimated in a good way. But let me just rattle off this list of incredible accomplishments. It's insane. Best OST, Mama Awards, Melon Music Awards, Critics' Choice Award, Best Song, Golden Globe Awards, Best Original Song, Motion Picture, Grammy Awards, Best Song, and the Academy Awards, Oscars, Best Original Song, the first K-pop song to win an Oscar. How cool and amazing is that? I just wanted to shout that out. Golden, Huntrix, EJ, everybody involved on the writing and the production. We got some Canadians in there too, which is amazing. And it made me think too of the story that EJ was telling, where she was on the way to the dentist to get like a gold filling, ironically. And that's when she came up with this melody for Golden. And even BTS was talking about this in their behind the scenes, where they'll kind of just sing gibberish nonsense in order for the vibe to come to them, like EJ was doing. Just kind of a melody came to her randomly while she was driving in the backseat of an Uber. And this is not uncommon, because I have also experienced this many times, and I thought I would give you guys a special insight into my writing process. I have a couple voice notes that are the same kind of gibberish English nonsense, but they're kind of fun to listen to. Check this out. Okay, I don't know where this was, but I'll do the same thing where I have my phone and I'll just record an idea when it comes to me. So this is for the Bullseye song, and just listen to this.
Like a bullseye. Shoot, this in the drop back. Bet it ball back. Or get it past the goal line. Shoot, bet it ball back. Bet it ball back. And a dumb.
In a dumb. What does that mean? And the reason I do it this way, and other writers might do it different ways, but I really want to try to get the words to sound right, to have the right feeling, and then I'll match lyrics to those sounds afterwards. So in the beginning process, it sounds a lot like that. Here's another one. This is for a new song, my new single that is hopefully going to be coming out at some point very soon, but this is some of the original ideas.
Better mom, me. Better mom, baby, on ding dong dong on bone. Better mom, me. Better on bum bum bum. Better on me. That make sense?
Does that make sense? So it's basically nothing. I'm just kind of flushing out ideas, but it's really fun. I have so many on my phone, just a bunch of different random ideas whenever they come to me. Literally, songwriting is like ghost hunting. Really, at the end of the day, you're walking around with those EMF detectors trying to detect the electromagnetic fields. Are there any ghosts in this room? Maybe not. Go into the next room. What about ghosts here? But the ideas can't come to you if your ghost detector isn't turned on. If it's off, you're never going to know if there's ghosts. The ghosts might be there, but you might not see them. But if you turn it on, even subconsciously, you just have it in your back pocket. If a ghost comes knocking, don't run, answer that door. You know what I mean? You never know when an idea is gonna hit. Anyways, that was really random. It is now time for me to reveal BTS's secret. The secret sauce that makes their songs, especially in this album, complete bangers. I figured it out. It's kind of just my opinion, but this is kind of what I think. This album has a lot of different genres on it, but within one single song, they have a way of creating catchiness within their songs, not just through a chorus. You can make a chorus catchy and memorable, but you might get tired of it after a while. That is not the case in this album, and I think that's because the choruses are very unique from song to song. The genres are quite different. There's a lot of different sounds, really interesting sounds happening, but within the same song, you almost have multiple choruses. Not choruses structurally or arrangement-wise, even though the arrangements are quite unique in some ways in some of the songs, but because all the members are contributing equally, they each have a part of the song that becomes memorable, not just because it's them singing or rapping that part, but because the hooks, the melodies, the rap rhythms that they're using are very cool and very catchy, even though they might only repeat them once or twice, maybe 3 times. It's kind of crazy, but let's give an example. A lot of you guys have been asking in the comments what my favorite song is from this album, and I think I've replied to a bunch of you with different answers because it's always changing, but this might be the best BTS song of all time. Until tomorrow, when I have a new favorite. Currently, I think my favorite song is Aliens. Now let's just look at this track in particular to kind of dissect those memorable moments. Here's one. Oh my God, do I look too funny? Like kind of gritty vocal. And then here's another part. Aliens. That's one part. And then another one here. You get the idea, but basically the choruses aren't the only memorable parts of the song. When there's memorable hooks scattered throughout the entire song where each member gets a chance to shine, you have so many cool things to re-listen to and you don't get tired of the song. You want to keep listening and listening because there's these hooks all over the place. I just find that's such a cool way to go about writing a song. It's incredibly difficult to do. I can't see myself ever getting sick of these songs. It's just too good. And I think that's one of the main reasons why that is. Hooks all over the place. The song is not just relying on a super catchy chorus. There's all these other components that come in to support it to create a memorable song and a memorable album. Adidang. BTS, well done. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Multi, a K-pop podcast. It's been super fun connecting with you guys through this podcast and also through the reactions, especially lately with all the BTS content I've been putting out. Hopefully you've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying reacting to that and connecting with you guys. So let me know what you want me to talk about in the next episode of this podcast. And also, I really want to know what your guys' favorite song is on this album. So definitely let me know that in the comments. I'm super curious because mine is always changing. But guys, this has been so much fun hanging out with you. If you want to check out all these reactions, head over to the YouTube channel, Alex Sinclair Music. And also you can put into the search your favorite artist or group. And I made a playlist for every single different one. So whatever you're into, you go BTS, search, and there's all the reactions that I've done by BTS. Do it for any artist. It's pretty cool. So I'll see you there. I'll see you in the next episode of Multi, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers!